Welcome to FSE Live. You know, in looking back on our first 5 episodes or so, it occurred to me that we've had way too many male guests on the show. So tonight we're going to fix that by having our first all-female show, and we're going to film it from where else? Right here at the Four Queens. Stay tuned.
Live from the Fremont Street Experience in downtown Las Vegas, it's FSE Live with your host, Jeff Victor.
Welcome to FSE Live right here on the Vegas Video Network. My name's Jeff Victor. I'll be your host. I'm also the president of the Fremont Street Experience, which explains why we're filming live right here in beautiful downtown Las Vegas. You know, I said in the opener that we're going to have an all-female male show, and we're going to come to you live from the Four Queens Casino. So tonight we'll have our first movers and shakers. That's a female. We're going to have a female musical guest. We're going to have our first female Meet the Neighbor, and Megan's going to return to tell us what's happening in downtown. Stay tuned. Okay, our first female guest, the first queen of the evening, is the Director of Communications and Entertainment right here at the Four Queens. Everybody please meet Lisa Robinson. How you doing, Lisa?
I always like being
Good to see you.
introduced as a queen.
You are a queen.
Of course, here at the Four Queens, why not?
And the Four Queens has been here for quite some time. What's its history and its origins, and how in the world did it get its name, Four Queens?
Well, we hear this a lot, but when I first started working here about 5 years ago, I was doing my research, and the Four Queens opened in 1966. This space was actually several buildings, and they built it from the ground up. They raised all the buildings, and they built it. It was a man named Ben Goffstein.
Okay.
And he had the original idea that he had a wife and 3 daughters, and hence the name the Four Queens.
Well, it works out really nicely for our show tonight, but also Terry Cottle, who's
I
a
have
current
to segue into that because by coincidence or fate, I'm not sure which.
It's got to be fate. It's
got
Las
to be
Vegas.
fate. Terry Cottle bought this property in 2003, and he has a wife and 3 daughters. So we have Ben Goffstein in the Four Queens, we have Terry Cottle in the Four Queens. It all works, right?
Yeah, so 1966 is how it started, but all through the years you've been renovating and expanding, including where we're sitting tonight, which is a brand new indoor-outdoor bar and patio.
We're so proud of this. You know, we've always loved the entertainment out on the street, and we kind of borrowed the concept from our sister property over at Binion's. They built a patio.
Because Terry Cottle owns both.
He owns both properties, and so we kind of brag a little over here because our patio is much bigger than Binion's. But we have the bar itself, and the bar is right behind us. It's 43 feet long. We wanted to take advantage of the great crowds we have out here on Fremont Street, so we have 43 feet of bar, full service bar, anything you want to order. And here in this patio, it wraps nicely around the property. We have 62 seats, tall boy tables, and the best view to the 3rd Street stage.
Yeah, we're right next to the stage. So
I didn't measure it exactly, but I think it's maybe like 7 to 10 feet.
Yeah, I know. So this was the place to be on New Year's Eve.
Oh, it was so much fun.
And I just looked over my shoulder and I see a lady in red back here as if she's going to come up and bring us something special.
Yes, this is Sandra. Hi, Sandra. Thanks for coming
Hello,
over.
Sandra.
Okay, so here, this is Fremont Street, and it is the Four Queens, and so I have to show these off. We'll talk about the coffee cocktails in a second,
Okay.
but Jeff, check these out. I mean, you've been on Fremont Street a while. You can't be Fremont Street without some custom drinkware. So they are so custom and so large that they kind of can't quite fit on our table, so I'm going to give them back to Sandra in a second.
Wait, before you do, because you said custom drinkware, this is a neck strap, and so on New Year's Eve, I saw people walking around dangling these, and about all they had to do is reach down to the straw.
The handle works probably at the beginning of the evening, and you probably need the neck strap towards the end of the evening. But I don't care how refined you are. How fun is this?
That's great.
To have on Fremont
What's
Street.
inside of these things? Anything you want? Or
anything you want. This one probably has a little flavored vodka. We found the flavored vodkas and rums were extremely popular on New Year's Eve, and they have been throughout the year. But yeah, it's many, many ounces. Many ounces. Thank you, Sandra. You're awesome. We appreciate it.
And then these little doodads.
So our bar, since this is Las Vegas, we open in the morning, actually. So about
you open the bar in the morning?
Yes, we open the bar in the morning. So you can come sit on this patio and have a drink at 10 a.m. if you want. So, and we have full espresso and coffee. But for coffee,
Is this warm?
you are welcome.
Oh, this is warm.
You are welcome to add.
It's a little chilly out here tonight.
I know, but we have nice heaters above us that are keeping us nice and warm even on a cold January night. So you can add any liqueur or liquor you want. This one is called the chocolate cupcake.
Oh, yes, it is.
Can you taste it? It has a little cupcake vodka in it.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Oh my!
Very,
that's
very good.
delicious. I like that.
So
Very good.
your title includes entertainment, and you know we love live entertainment all throughout Fremont Street. So what do you do inside the doors here?
You know, it's kind of tucked away in the back of our property, so a lot of people that are walking around Fremont Street, we have to sort of educate them a little bit. We have a full showroom in the back of our property right off of the lobby. It's called the Canyon Club Showroom, and you've had Jay Bolin on this show before, I think.
We did, down there with Tim.
And Jay is great. He performs at 9 p.m. and Tuesday through Friday. And then we have Mike Hammer, and he's been downtown with us in that showroom for almost 3 years. And he does a comedy magic show. It's super fun.
Right.
And, and you can bring your kids to that one. It's at 7 p.m. Tuesday through Saturday. And 13 and over can come, and we have a great time.
One of my favorite forms of entertainment happens to be food, and one of my favorite restaurants downtown is right here inside the Four Queens.
You know, it's funny because we almost...
You know which one I'm talking about.
We're talking about Hugo Cellar, and in some ways when we got here, Terry would always joke and say, I tell people that, well, I just bought the Four Queens, and this was in 2003, and they're like, and have this sort of look on their face, and he's like, it has Hugo Cellar, and we know exactly where that is, because Hugo Cellar has been in town and been open for more than 35 years. I think we're right between 35 and 40. It's old school as you can get. The menu kind of hasn't changed. We have classic steaks, seafood.
Steak Diane's and flaming liqueurs and...
Yeah, we do some things that, we have a tableside salad cart. 4 people wait on your table. They prepare this. I love the salad cart.
The sides, I have to admit, I have gone there just for the salad.
And a lot of people do them, like when you read TripAdvisor and you look at these other stuff, so many comments about the salad cart because it's awesome, and you really don't get that anywhere else in Las Vegas.
Yeah, if folks haven't seen that, it's a big rolling cart, and they ask you, do you want hearts of palm, yes or no? Do you want...
There's 18 ingredients on that.
18 ingredients.
There's 18 ingredients on that cart, so they ask you every single thing and choice of dressings, and it comes as part of your meal. That's another thing that we don't talk about, which is old school about Hugo's that you don't hear about that often is, you go to a place on the Strip and everything's a la carte. Your salad is $10, your potato, everything is included in your meal at Hugo's. So you have the salad, you have a potato, you have a vegetable, and a complimentary dipped fruit at the end of your meal.
And it's called a cellar for maybe a couple of reasons. One, because it sits down in the basement, which I love because there are no windows. So you talk about it being an old school Las Vegas kind of thing. When you get down there with no windows, you really kind of lose what year or what era you're in. You feel like Sammy Davis could walk in at any minute.
Well, and he did back in the day. We know the Rat Pack hung out there and enjoyed many meals in there and had a few drinks, and so we're very proud of that. And you said old school, and you walk in there and you sort of are back in time, but it's still we have a fabulous wine list, 300 bottles on the. We've actually done price comparisons, and so we know you can get the exact same bottles for a much more reasonable price at Hugo's. We have Albert Steele. He's been our manager there. He's got decades of restaurant experience.
And the staff there, they kind of get the vibe in part because they've been there for a while.
For a while. I mean, I think I asked around one time. When the last time I ate there, I had 4 people serving me. The freshman of the group had been there 18 years. So it's that kind of place.
Yeah, but your sommelier, here the other reason it's called the cellar because the wine selection is fabulous, but the sommelier has been there.
His name is John Simmons, and he actually grew up in England. His father owned a wine shop, and he's been there almost 30 years. I have to check with him. If I get it wrong, I apologize, John. But he's been there close to 30 years, and he does, he's so knowledgeable. He's one of the very first in Las Vegas to ever get the designation sommelier. That's, what he's done his whole career.
That's not an easy thing, and at the time it must have been more difficult.
I think there was like
novel.
3 or 4 in all of Las Vegas when he achieved that. But he keeps a special reserve of about 75 bottles that he rotates, that are his hand selections. They're not on the menu, so if you ever go in there, what I do is I just say, okay, John. He says, what are you having? I said, you tell me what wine, and there you go. And he hasn't missed with me yet.
So if there was a place outside of Hugo's Cellar that, whether it's something on the gambling floor or a restaurant or whatever, what would be the one thing that you wouldn't want somebody to miss as they visited here?
Well, that's a good question because, you know, we are, since we were built in 1966, we're pretty compact, so we have to be pretty creative with our space.
Right.
And we have a great little restaurant called Chicago Brewing Company, and it's elevated off the casino floor. It's a few steps up, and it's kind of tucked in the corner, and people sort of are surprised sometimes when they walk up there and say, oh, you have a whole brewing company up here, and we have our own handcrafted beer.
Which changes throughout the year. You get different
Well,
seasonal
we keep
beers.
some staples,
Right.
and then we rotate some seasonals throughout there, and that beer is actually brewed right here in Las Vegas. Terry Cottle owns the freestanding brewery, also called Chicago Brewing Company, that's in another part of town, and we bring that beer in and serve it right here at the Four Queens.
And I highly recommend a variety of bar foods, but the
I
pizza...
think I personally know you like the veggie pizza.
I do like the veggie pizza.
Yes.
I'll be back for that.
So pizza and appetizers, hamburgers, it's a great sort of casual dining experience.
Well, thanks for sharing the Four Queens and being our first queen of the evening. Appreciate it.
I love being a queen and working at the Four Queens. It all works.
All right, thanks again. You'll want to check out the Four Queens on your next visit. Go to their website and see all there is to offer. We'll be right back.
Oh, hi. I'm Kelly Clinton. That's stuff. I wonder if Joan Rivers is watching. Oh, please. Oh, my God. Who cares? I don't have a different one. You know who watches this show? Wayne Newton. You got that right, Kelly. I think you're absolutely beautiful and talented young lady. 5, 6, 9, 12. Darker shade. More camera time for me. Hey, I wonder if Cher's watching. Oh, please. I have so many other things to do. Woo! Hi, I'm Kelly Clinton. I'm the host of Talk Tales, and you're watching the Vegas Video Network. That was horrible.
So now we're on to the second queen of the evening. We have joining us tonight the lead singer from the group Venus Rising. Please welcome Heather Riggi. Heather, how are you?
Nice to
Good
see
to see
you.
you.
I'm good.
My hands are colder than
My-
you are.
you
I've
know-
been out here just a little bit.
Yes.
So, and I think that in the
I'm already
middle
thawed out.
table.
I've been inside the Four Queens.
You stepped
so I'm
inside
good.
and watched
yes,
the first
I
part.
did.
All right. Well, Venus Rising, you play out here weekly.
We do. We play out here all year long. We've been here for about 5 years.
5 years.
Yes.
Well, that's crazy. You know, to keep the act fresh, we've actually challenged you to keep up with the seasons and some of the theming that we've done. So you've been called Venus Rising. You've also been called a few other things.
Well, we have a few names. I'll tell you a couple of them.
All right.
We've been called Vampire Rising in October. We changed for the holiday, and we get a little spooky and a little gothic. And this past year we were Zombie Rising, so it was really fun to kind of transform for the month into zombies and put the makeup on and put the costumes on. And we had 30 days of Halloween this year.
That's right.
Yeah,
Every
so-
year. We've done that for 4 years now.
Yes,
So.
almost.
Well, so that kind of begs the question: what kind of music do you guys play?
You know, I tell people we do everything from Lady Gaga to Led Zeppelin, from Adele to AC/DC. We do everything. We know about 300 songs, I would say.
So I never understood this as a non-entertainer because I listen to a song on the radio and as soon as it's over I can't remember the lyrics from that one song. So how is it that musicians and singers can remember lyrics and the notes because you don't have sheet music? And so is that just like a natural thing that you realize you had, or?
You know, I have a pretty good memory, but I have to focus. And what I like to do is I like to try to put dance moves with the lyrics, so I can't forget them. You know, it's like a routine. It's like a grand entrance, and you're choreographed. So it's
And that's your trigger?
It is. You got to do something to help you remember. And
So with the Star Spangled Banner or something, or the National Anthem, I see people mess that up all the time. Do you occasionally lose track?
I do. I'm guilty of it. Only if I have one of the Fremont Street cocktails before the show.
Like one of those,
But I never
like one of
do
those
that.
giant things they brought out earlier.
That might
That's
make
not
me lose my focus.
That's a
and
bad move.
Concentration. That's a bad move. But usually pretty good at it, you know?
So I know in bands, because we meet a lot of them out here, there's kind of different personalities between the lead singer and the instrumentalist. And so it's been my experience that the drummers are always kind of the behind-the-scenes troublemakers. They're the ones that always end up dating another band member's girlfriend or doing something that causes a riff in the organization. Is that how it is in your band?
Not the case with Venus Rising.
No?
I think the drummer is the saint in the band. The
Oh,
drummer
boy.
is
The drummer will show up to the show 3 or 4 hours before, and Fremont Street staff will tell you he's always here and set up hours before I even wake up.
Yeah, don't lose that guy. So who is? There's always one. Who is it?
You know, I want to say it's the guitar player, the bass player, but I think it might be me. I think it might be me.
You guys are all backwards.
We're backwards.
You're all backwards.
That's okay.
So you played a lot of places in Las Vegas. What makes Fremont Street unique, or is it not? Is it just...
Fremont Street is the only venue that we play that's all ages, and I love that because we have such a wide range, and our demographic is huge here. I mean, we have little girls, 12 years old singing along to our Kesha and Lady Gaga songs, and then at the same time, we'll do some Bon Jovi and Guns N' Roses, and we'll entertain a little older crowd, and I like the diversity. I like to be able to sing to anyone down here, and keeps it fresh.
So the crowd's diverse, the music is diverse, and they're not just sitting in the background at a bar or sitting in a chair in a lounge. They're up and active, and so there's probably a few memorable moments that you guys have lived through.
It's always interesting on Fremont Street. You never really know what's going to happen when you show up for a show, but I think my most memorable moment is our band is from all over the United States. My drummer, Mark, is from Kansas City. My guitar player, Eden, is from Detroit. My bass player's from Philly. But every night, my bass player introduces me, Heather, from Buffalo, New York. And one night, and I'm such a huge sports fan, so it pains me to say this, my bass player said, "Ladies and gentlemen from Buffalo, New York, Heather Riggi." And someone in the audience yelled, "Wide right."
Oh, wide right. That's just from this recently.
And this pains me because these are my Buffalo Bills, and it's just so funny. I think that was the most memorable moment for me because I'm such a huge sports fan, and I will never forget that.
Well,
as much as it pained me, it was very close to home, and it was comforting.
Good stuff. That won't be the best one because that'll get topped here,
It'll get topped tomorrow.
Yeah, that's right. Well, thank you, Heather, for being our guest. I appreciate
it, Jeff. Thanks for having me.
Stay tuned, folks. As you know, we always send somebody out on the street, Michael usually, to find out where folks are from. And so let's go find out where you're from.
All righty. What are your names?
Leslie.
Magda.
Sarah.
And where are you guys visiting us from?
I'm from Scotland.
I'm from Poland.
Scotland. But we all live in London.
All live in London. How do you ladies know each other?
We work together.
We work, my mom.
So you guys work together, and you're visiting with your mom. Okay. Yeah. Had you ever been to Las Vegas before?
Yes, last year.
When you were here last year, did you come to Fremont Street?
I did, yes.
I've never been, no.
And you've never been to Fremont before, obviously. Had you heard anything about Fremont before?
The zip wire and the big screen. That was it.
And has it lived up to your expectations?
Yes. It's amazing.
It is.
So much different from the Strip.
Different from the Strip? Different in what way? In a good way?
In a good way.
What's one thing you love about Fremont Street?
Just the atmosphere here. Yeah, it's so much more relaxed and, more relaxed.
You want to say hello to anyone back home that can't be as lucky as you guys to be here?
Hi everyone! Phantom of the Opera in London.
Are you guys associated?
Yeah, we work there.
You work at Phantom?
Yeah.
I'm working at The Bodyguard. Whitney Houston's The Bodyguard. We get that next month. The musical.
The Bodyguard?
Starting next month, yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's at the Adelphi Theatre.
Any questions you have about Fremont Street?
Just wanted to know how much the electricity bill would be.
That's a good one. That's a great question. Thank you, ladies. That was wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
As I mentioned in a previous episode, about 15% of the visitors to Las Vegas are from international locations. Michael either has a way to find them or the internationals are particularly un-camera shy. But anyway, to answer the question, the Viva Vision show has 12.5 million light bulbs over 5 football fields worth of length. And we meter that thing separately. And depending on the time of year, because it starts as soon as the sun goes down, and so during the winter we run shows earlier in the evening, the electric bill runs anywhere from, believe it or not, $30,000 to $40,000 a month. Thanks for asking.
Traditional media believes that after about 3 minutes, you'll tune out. Most Vegas media companies think if it doesn't jiggle, you won't tune in. At the Vegas Video Network, we think both are wrong. The Vegas Video Network is the first and only live online broadcast network that specializes in insider news and expert views about Vegas. We combine great storytelling with the ability to watch when and where you want on your computer, mobile device, or television. Discover the real Las Vegas. Visit VegasVideoNetwork.com.
Well, you all have been great to send us encouraging words and polite criticism so we can continue to make this show fantastic and fun for us. If you want to continue to do that, we'd appreciate it. Please feel free to send us an email at FSE@VegasVideoNetwork.com, or you can reach us by using a web-based voicemail by going to Vegas Video Network, clicking on the icon to the side of the page, get a microphone ready, and send us a recording. Or, of course, if you're watching us live, you can send us a live chat, and Scott behind the booth there will get it. And then if you're going to watch us after the fact, you can get a hold of us on YouTube or iTunes or Roku every Saturday at noon on KSHP 1400 AM. All right, so, we're coming to you from the Fremont Street Experience, but that's just a small part of what downtown's all about. We have such fabulous neighbors that we included this segment, and you've met a number of folks from Fremont East and the Mob Museum and surrounding areas, but you've never met another casino outside of Fremont Street Experience, and so we're going to do that tonight. So please welcome the Executive Vice President of the El Cortez. Here you are, Alex Epstein.
Hi, Jeff.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
So we met Lisa earlier, and she was saying that the Four Queens has been here since 1966, but the El Cortez was here before that.
A little bit longer than that. El Cortez was opened up in 1941, which makes it the longest continuously operating property in town.
All under the same name.
All under the same name, never closed.
That's great. We have all these historic photos in our office,
Yep.
and there are things that have stayed and things that have changed, but there's a couple of shots of the El Cortez, and I know you've done a lot of renovations through the years, but there are a couple of shots that look just like you've gone back in time.
That's right. Well, the interior has changed completely.
Right.
The exterior is totally the same. The 6th and Fremont frontage is pretty original to the 1941 build, and our signage, our neon signage, is from 1953, which has allowed us to be nominated for the National Register of Historic Places, which would make us the first casino to get that recognition.
Oh, how cool.
Yep.
And so I was driving down I-15 here and saw one of your billboards, and it mentioned Bugsy Siegel.
Yes.
Did he really run the joint at a point?
He really did. He definitely did in the mid-1940s, shortly before going to the Flamingo. And actually, he still had some cohorts and associates that worked at the El Cortez a lot longer after his death.
You say cohorts and associates. There was a whole flavor back then.
Absolutely.
But, having colorful people run the joint is continuing. And
I wouldn't disagree with you, Jeff.
I say that because your family is part in charge and in the ownership. And so tell us about the folks that are running the place now.
So really, the El Cortez is still privately owned. It's only changed hands a few times since Bugsy Siegel owned it in the 1940s. And while Jackie Gahn owned the property for a very long time, starting in 1963, he turned it over to our family in 2008. So our family currently owns the property, but it's still Jackie mentality. What's good for downtown is good for the El Cortez. Jackie's a mentor of ours and still lives at the El Cortez, actually.
And still lives. You don't mean he comes there often. He literally lives up above on the roof.
Literally lives in the penthouse.
Yeah.
He does, and he's in the office with us day in and day out, so he's still a big part of it.
That's great. You guys have been really nice to invite me over to a couple of your luncheons, because all the executive staff gets together each day, and I got to tell you, they crack me up. Jackie comes down and joins, and there's everything from Jackie's limo driver to the folks in the office and some of the people off the casino floor, and the conversation, I got to tell you, is hilarious. Everything from watching the soap operas and discussing what's happening.
You've been there. They call themselves the CON, the Circle of Knowledge. That's the kind of personality.
It's a lot of color, and there's food piles and piles of food. You never actually get a menu, just all this food comes and everybody shares.
It's an event every day.
You
have a standing invitation.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I'm going to do that again soon.
Yeah, you should.
So El Cortez is also a little unique in that it does a really nice job of catering to both tourists and locals, and so that being a little bit of a unique mix, how does that come about?
You know, it's for a number of reasons. You know, we've had a very loyal following who are coming from out of town, who've been coming for decades and generations. We also have a very loyal local following, and they're coming for our food, whether it be our steakhouse or they're coming for different events that we have. We have a lot of locals that show up for Vegas Streets, which is our monthly food truck festival. So whether it's events that we're holding or things they just know they're going to be treated like family when they walk in the door, there's a number of reasons that everybody's welcome to the El Cortez.
Yeah, and I know in your advertising you talk a lot about your food and your gambling odds in particular. You guys...
That's right. We have a great gamble. We're over 42% looser than the Strip, and we pay out 3-2, whereas a lot of properties pay 6-5 on blackjack. So it's a really great gamble. Your money's going to last a little bit longer at the El Cortez versus some other Strip properties or elsewhere you might go. So it's a fun time, no matter what you're doing.
Yeah, and you're just right down the street from us here.
That's
and
right.
You sit in what we now know as the Fremont East District, and because you've been there and most of the other places are new, you guys have been really broad-shouldered and played an important role in developing that. What have you seen over the last couple of years?
Well, we consider East Fremont, our neighborhood, one of our best assets. You know, we think it's a great area. We have great fellow business owners. We love our neighbors. We work with them regularly. So it's really exciting to see the transition, not only in the physical neighborhood and the landscape, but to see the transition in people that are coming downtown. So to welcome in all these new locals, a little bit younger generation, it's been really exciting and fun, and to be a part of that development and to have those partnerships is just exciting. It's wonderful.
Well, I love it. As I mentioned, I live down here and work down here, and so I walk past and into the El Cortez weekly, if not daily, and I do enjoy having you in the neighborhood. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me so much.
All righty.
It's a pleasure.
So next time you're downtown, you want to check out the El Cortez, look them up on the website and see what all they're up to. Stay tuned.
This is David Ivey from Pub Crawl. It's funny because it's David from... You should just leave it on. Hi, I'm David Ivey from Pub Crawl, and you're watching the Vegas Video Network. And scene.
Our fourth queen tonight you met in our last episode, bringing us up to date on what's been happening and what's around the corner, is direct from the FSE staff, Megan Conklin.
Megan, boss man. Good, thanks. How you doing?
I'm finally recovering.
I'm not yet. I still have my tiara on and my Ciroc bracelet, and I brought some goodies.
My head still hurts just a little bit if you would take it easy.
I'm still partying, Jeff Victor. Good times here on Fremont Street.
Yes, so it takes us about 6 months to put together New Year's.
Right.
And it peaks in the days ahead of time.
Right. It takes about 6 hours that night, and then 6 months to plan, 6 hours that night, but it was so much fun this year. I started my night with handling ticket sales, and then as I was walking down the mall, I saw Zoe Bowie, I saw a little Yellow Brick Road, and then bam, I was walking down the mall and there's Quiet Riot playing, and it was just so fun because you're running, you're doing your thing, and you see thousands of people just enjoying and loving their rock music.
Yeah, and you come in and like, you had your responsibilities and I had mine.
Right.
So I was all dressed up in a tuxedo that night, and it's fun for me because every local news station is out here and they want to talk about, you know, the first guest coming through the door and what's going to happen that night, and it's just a fun night. And then eventually we become part of the party because our responsibilities start dwindling as we get close to midnight.
Right, so I was lucky enough for my responsibilities to start dwindling right around Buck Cherry time. And as people may have noticed, I was a little crazy in the Buck Cherry pit. It was a good time.
I saw you. You were right up front. You knew every word.
That's right. I was
think
enjoying myself.
You were trying to get the lead singer's attention.
Well, maybe, you know. I just couldn't stop looking.
Well, you weren't...
with tats like that, you can't stop looking at Josh.
You weren't the only one, and I really enjoyed their performance and some of the others as well. And so then we came all the way up, as we always do, to Midnight.
Midnight was so great too, and this year, of course, the year in review show really, really. You've got a lot of emotions as you're going through the year in review show, but to watch the people we lost and then some of the recent tragedies and the tragedies throughout, and then it's that happy sort of everyone being together vibe. It's just that community vibe. So midnight hits, fireworks go off, the place is all lit up, and 2 chicks kissed me.
2 chicks in the crowd?
Yes, we talked about this last time. I know, we talked about it last
every
time.
year.
So every year
Any guys or just chicks?
Just Patrick, just my guy.
Your guy.
You know, it's
couple randoms.
Friendly love here at Fremont Street. That's what I like to tell the folks.
That's great. Well, I was up on stage with the mayor doing the countdown, and then we got off stage, and that's when I started hitting it. Music stopped around 3, and that's where I called it a night. How late did you make it?
I was at the video poker tables until about 4.
About 4.
About 4, yeah. But I did get a chance to see Otherwise, who's a local Las Vegas band.
Yeah, yeah.
They played at First Street between midnight and 3 a.m. and they were just off the chain. They were fantastic. Yeah.
I was inside a casino. I didn't get to see that.
Really great and exciting band. Like as I was walking by, I was fist in the air, doing a little fist pumping. It was good stuff.
I got to see part of Quiet Riot that night, and they had a big crowd.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
They were down on the First Street stage.
Yes. And then of course we also have Buck Cherry. But I also want to give one shout out tonight to Ticket Cake.
Yeah, they kicked it.
I think we really had a really good experience with Ticket Cake this year, so hoping to work with them again next year. I hope that we'd love people's feedback because we felt that it was a really seamless experience to purchase your tickets ahead of time and then go right into the party.
We picked Ticket Cake for all the right reasons. The way their system works is just so slick and easy for us and for the user.
Yeah.
Their rates for the user was really reasonable.
Really reasonable.
And their neighbors, they live right down the street. They're part of the downtown project.
Yes.
And so, and then I was really glad to see them out here bouncing around and working with us.
They were here all night. They were so great to work with. And then all of the general public kept saying, there's an app for that, so I thought that was fun too.
That's great. So 6 months to get ready for 6 months or 6 hours worth of partying, and apparently at this rate it's going to take 6 days to get over it.
Yeah, so we've got a little come down time.
A little come down time. I think my head's back on.
Me too. We're this week for Fremont Street Experience moving forward, January is a little light for us. However, what we do have happening is during CES, we have great bands coming on all week long for CES, and that's January 8th through the 13th.
Yeah, for folks that don't know, that's the Consumer Electronics Show.
Sure.
And there's over 100,000 people that come to that show, and so very smartly, we're clever this way. We do things to attract them down to Fremont Street.
Right.
Entertainment's one of our hooks, and so we're going to do that for them.
We're going to do that. The zip line's still rolling, and the shows are still happening. So it's really not that cold here in January. So come on down to Fremont Street. I think Fremont Street Experience is still a best bet in January.
All right, Megan. Well, thanks for bringing us up to speed. Thank you and the rest of the staff for putting on just a fabulous party for about 25,000 people this year.
About 25,000. Official numbers are in.
All right, well, stay tuned. We're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to wrap up the show.
3, 2, 1. Oh, I need to come up with something funny to say. 3, 2, 1. Wow. But the co-host, really, I have to say watching. Well,
That's how you do it. You
really?
watch. There you go.
I got it.
We are the odds couple.
Hi, my name is Scott Pritchard.
And I am Anthony Padilla.
You're watching the Vegas Video Network.
You are.
You are. We are too.
So that's the show. I want to thank the guests, all 4 queens that we had on tonight, including Alex and Heather and Megan and Lisa. And the things that bring people to New Year's Eve are happening here every single night. We keep it safe, we keep it fun, we have live entertainment, we have the Viva Vision entertainment, We have value-oriented food and drinks. Good times all the time. If you missed New Year's down here, you want to go to vegasexperience.com. I think we've got over 100 photos of what happened, at least the things that we can show that night. Good times, I can assure you. But thanks again for joining us here on episode 6. Stay tuned. We'll be back in 2 weeks on Valentine's Day. Take care.